everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. Today I am having fun with my wood burner, which I don't think it's actually going to be fun. I used this one other time to cut mesh, and I think there's a video on it. I don't think I liked it because I'm very sensitive to smells. Y'all know that I get really bad headaches that last 3 or 4 days, and I'm not good with smells. Like, I can't go in a Bath and Body Works. I will literally die. So yeah. But I'm cutting some rolls, and I would like them to be... I like to minimize the fraying as much as possible, and even when I cut rolls with my rotary cutter, because you don't have a lot, it's only 10 inches, because you don't have a lot to like fold in on itself, I find that they fray most of all. You know, like everything frays. It's Deco mesh, it's going to fray. But I'm going to try to minimize that. We're going to see. I filmed this about 5 times already, but I haven't cut yet. This is from Plaid. It is, I think it's like 10 bucks at Walmart maybe. They have one that has a bunch of tips. This is the one I'm using. It's like the chisel tip. Carl made me this little box over here when I first got this to put my wood burner in, and all I did with it was, where is it? Yeah, that's as far as I got because it was not for me. But I have my little box Carl made, so that's special. So I'm going to start off with a fresh cut here. I just remember this like taking a lot longer than I wanted it to. Alright, before we move on, let me just look at this. Oh, actually, let me look at this. So this is a melted edge. This is the cut it. Why do both edges look melted? Okay, so I melted that extra right there. This is the unmelted edge over here. So it's pulling out a little bit. I really had to pull to get that out. Like, you wouldn't, obviously you would never be doing this with mesh, but let's give it a try. The smell is not as bad as I remember it. Okay, the other thing I don't like about this is that I want to use a ruler. Do they sell wireless? Why is this not wireless? This should be wireless. Okay. Obviously not as fast, but you can't argue with those results. Also, I feel like, I don't know if this is the best tip for this, but it probably is. I feel like I can go straighter because I'm like tracing the line, whereas when I'm with the rotary cutter, I'm just like, okay, let's get roundabout. How about you just go away? How about that? Yeah, what you think about that? And I rarely do rolls, mostly because I don't like the fraying, so. I know I used an impulse sealer before, and that did not work. I've seen people use it, so I don't know if it's just the one that I had was not strong enough, like hot enough, but I know people do use it. That would be ideal for me because you just, plop that thing down. I think that would be awesome. But how do you hold this thing? How do people do this? I'm trying to see how fast, if you can get it to go faster. Not get it to go faster, but like if you can go faster and it's still cut. And I know this is a tempered glass cutting board, But the last time I did this, I think I used like a 16 by 20 picture frame. Obviously, you can't use like a wood cutting board, and you can't cut directly on your cutting mat. I think they want you to have the tempered one just because you're putting a lot of heat on the glass. Okay, the smell is not bothering me at all. And there's not a lot of, like, I can't see a lot of fumes. There are fumes, I know that, because I can smell it, but not like... You know, it's not like burning a milk jug. I did not turn the air off. Oh wait, I like doing it like this. Wait, so how did I... Oh, so if I turn, like, see, this is the way I would be cutting it because that's the pointy part, but when it's turned on the side... Oh. It did produce it, like, so you can see it smoking. So, I don't know. I apologize for the air. I'm not getting up to turn it off. Yeah, see, I went fast on that one and I didn't. I don't know. I think if you were like, if you're like, who is it? Julie Boutique Julie, who makes all the flop. I was gonna cut that straight, but it's gonna be curled in anyway. Either she's got a, she probably does have a really nice wood burner because that's pretty much all she does. Not all she does, but I mean, you know, she cuts a lot of squares to make those flowers. Let's see if I... Can you see that when I turn it on the side? See how it's kind of, like it's there. It leaves a little bit more residue stuff, but it is easier to cut that way, and I can always like tuck that in. But if I was doing the next one right after, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to actually be making a wreath in this video, but we're going to be making a wreath with these curls on a base that I did on a live. What else I'm wondering now that I'm doing this? If I come through here, okay, so that's cut, but I'm not gonna pull it apart. I'm just gonna move it down. Is that gonna be easier than having? I'm gonna end up with 36 rolls. Go ahead and say yes already, because these are all, this is my thing about cutting mesh, like it's always all over the place. I also feel like just from doing this that, you see how I keep cutting on the 10? Like, if I move this over some, I won't be cutting on the same spot continuously. I'm still cutting on the 10, but instead of cutting over here, I'm cutting over here now. I'm going to have to throw all of these on the floor and be like one of those people that just tosses everything all over the place. But I can't do that because the dog would definitely run off with it and it would be his new best friend. If I can keep them all together like this, I'm going to pull this in a second so you guys can see how they stuck together, which, I mean, I kind of already showed that, but this was a lot in a row, and I want to make sure that... I think my problem with this is that I can... When I'm cutting with a rotary cutter, I feel like I can push the mesh over, and I can still cut. Like, if I push the mesh over in the same hand I'm holding the rotary cutter in, it's not going to cut the mesh. If I do this, if I do the same thing with the wood burner, it's definitely going to, like, either cut it or burn a hole in it or whatever. So it's a little awkward, but I think if you... I turned this off and it needs to stay on until because I'm like, why is it not burning? You know, if you work with it, I mean, that's true with anything, you know. And I guess it comes down to what you like better. I mean, this is more accurate, no doubt. This is going to give you less fraying, no doubt. So let me just separate these. I think they're coming apart pretty easily. And I just kept flipping it over the edge of my table. So every now and then you get like a... Alright, now I can turn it off. So yes, more accurate, less fraying, but more time. So I think maybe like I don't think that I would cut like my 20-inch pieces like this, just because I never make a ruffle with the edges exposed. Like my edges are always turned under. Y'all know that. You'll see me make enough wreaths. But like if somebody was like, hey, you know, I have a really big budget. You know, if you're going to pay me to do this, I'll definitely do it. I don't know that I'm going to... What is this? No, what is this? What am I looking at? Up here? Over this. What is it? Oh, it's the... I was like, you saw that? It's a piece of tape. Jesus. Like if somebody was like, hey, you know, I have this budget, I really like this $40 roll ribbon, I might sit down and do this for, you know, however many rolls of Deco mesh I would put in a wreath for that, but, I don't know. I mean, I think I'm going to have to, like, put it in a wreath to, like, finally form an opinion, but, yeah. You gotta weigh the pros and cons. Like, it takes longer, but there's less fraying, and it's more precise if you're, especially if you're like one of those, like if you're making the flowers, like that's completely understandable because it would be very hard to because it's a shifting thing, you know, like it doesn't, it's rolled and it shifts. It's not like fabric where it stays flat and you can just roll it without it moving, rotary cut it without it moving. But yeah, I mean, it's an option. So people have been asking sometimes in lives and stuff, so I thought I'd just come in here and do this before I don't know what I'm gonna do. I probably should go take a nap, eat, and then go take a nap. Eat, take a nap, and then eat again, and then I'll make a wreath. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications. Links are down below in the description for Patreon, Etsy, Instagram, TikTok, Amazon, Venmo if you want to tip me for making your life better. Yeah. All right. Bye.